viewers, welcome to another game of the Show Pro Gamer. Today we're doing game number 5 of the best of 7 between SD Life in the top left as the Zerg player and Liquid Taeja in the bottom left as the Terran player. So another Zerg versus Terran. I've been doing them all day now. Yeah, it's because it's the best of 7, so obviously there are a lot of the same races. Unfortunately, it's pretty much impossible to play multiple races. It would be so good if people could, but yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Because I would like to see people switch it up. That's why I like the series more than well, these best of. So kind of the the team series, which you have when, well, you have multiple people on each team and everyone just get matched up with his own opponent. And I like those because, well, you get to see all kinds of different play styles and all kinds of different races go up against each other, which to me is way more interesting than seeing a best of 7. But I guess best of 7s are there for a reason. They're, well, to draw out the skill of people, but yeah, it's the same tactics over and over and over and over, and that kind of becomes boring. But hey, it doesn't really matter what I think. It is all up to them to make it a good thing. Obviously, I still appreciate good play, even if it's the same play over and over, so the same tactic over and over. We still can see good plays coming out from both of these players and from any player really. Even the low-level players can sometimes make, well, of course you need to have some skill, but even the lower level players can make some good plays every now and then. And yeah, well, there's that. Anyhow, we have an expansion into spawning pool, into extractor. Extractor is coming up, which means speed is underway, or it's going to be underway. He immediately puts 3 workers on that because he wants to mine that 100 gas before the, well, when the spawning pool comes up. He wants to have it, and we are going to see, well, once again the Reapers coming out. Saw that from the early refinery, which you could have seen over here. I didn't really discuss it because, well, he's been doing that the entire series, except for game number 1, I believe. Yeah, so early Reapers. I kind of assumed the first time that he wanted to go for an early factory, because that's way more, well, efficient than early Reapers. Reapers really don't do that much. He's going to produce 2 only, and then, yeah, try to harass with them. But obviously they can't really take out buildings anymore. They're not that strong anymore. And they can do some pretty nice harassment, especially when you have a late spawning pool. And yeah, that's what he's trying to do here. So the Reaper is probably going to take out some of the Zerglings, but I want to select him. He still has 0 kills. And once the Queens come out, which is now, he is completely useless. So yeah, the 2 of them can actually do something, but the one will have to regenerate first and blah blah blah. But yeah, the Queens, the range of the Queens is so good that it actually, yeah, it actually is impossible for these Reapers to do anything anymore. Look at that. Yeah, the Queen is at about half health, but they are out of health, so yeah, there's that. Probably going to produce a new one, yes he is, just to make sure that he actually has something to defend against those guys if they come back. And then he's going to use one of them to spread the creep anyway, so might as well. So yeah, there's never a lost unit. As long as you don't actually get your units killed, it doesn't really matter what you produce, because even if you have 1 or 2 queens extra, or 1, 2, 4, 8 Zerglings extra, it doesn't really matter. You can always use them for something. Of course, it wouldn't be good to have too many of certain units, but yeah, still, in general, it doesn't really matter too much. They did get to defend the base there a little bit, although I think he still lost an SCV there. Let's see, the units lost. Yeah, I don't know. It seems that those were 2 SCVs. because he didn't lose the Reapers, and I don't think there was any other fighting yet, so yeah, it doesn't really matter, because this is all early game, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the Reapers then just walking around, not doing anything. The third base is coming up here, the second base was already underway here, so it's all according to schedule. This is the way they want to play this. Of course, game number 5 is always an important game, because either it's 3-1 or it's 2-2. I'm not going to spoil what it is. At 3-1, of course, one of the guys will have to win this game in order to stay in the tournament, or to stay in the match, I should say. The other, well, will have to win it to, well, advance, but doesn't have to win this one. At 2-2, if you get to 3-2, then yeah, you're kind of one game away. So it's really heavy momentum, because winning the last 2 games in a row is so difficult if you're behind. And of course, winning 1 out of the last 2 games is way easier. Well, still not easy, of course, but yeah, the pressure, especially on the last game, if you lost the game number 4, then winning game number 5 is very difficult. But the pressure is really on the guy that loses this game. Well, unless this is already the pressure game, I guess. It doesn't matter. This game is the most important game. So game number 5 is always the most important game of best of 7 series. Because, as I said, it's all up to this. It's either the momentum to win the entire thing, or it is to win the entire thing. Of course, you could have also won in game number 4 with 4-0, but yeah, well, that obviously didn't happen because we're watching the game. So anyhow, that being said, we are just going to, well, just sit around with the entire army, just building up. It doesn't really matter what they're doing. Currently we're just building up armies. It always happens in the later games, so the first games, in my opinion, always the most interesting, because that is when people do interesting new strategies and, well, dare to risk things, because especially in game number 2 of series, the guy who's ahead normally tries out some crazy strategy, because it doesn't matter whether he wins or loses. If he wins, then obviously he gets a very big advantage over his opponent. If he loses, then the best of 7 just becomes a best of 5. So still nothing lost. He doesn't get behind. He can experiment with new things all he wants. Of course, in game number 5, as I said, very important game, you don't do that. So what you do is you want to make it as safe as possible, as far as you can build something safe. But you want to build up your army, and then once you have a big army, you want to go in, maybe harass a little bit like he did here, because, well, harassments can be very, very efficient. And of course, well, you want to have those efficient, well, strategies. And yeah, that's exactly the way it works. Wow, this creep tumor just lived, which means that the creep will all stay alive, because this one is just going to keep the rest of this creep alive. That's actually pretty cute. As long as the Zerg player doesn't run into it, then and it gets splashed accidentally by the Hellions, it's all good. Anyhow, I don't think that the creep spread is really what the Zerg player is worried about here, because at this point his armies are getting decimated by these Hellions, as well as, well, some of the fire of the Marines, of course. Well, at least he has something to deal with this, at least a little bit, but yeah, the Marines are so hard to kill with this many medevacts overhead. He is going to pick them up, drop them back in, just to regroup them, to make sure that not all of them die to those banelings. The base is going to go down, and lots of, oh my god, lots of drones dying to that. Oh my god. And even this one, this Marauder, which got surrounded by all of the spawned broodlings. he still got out. So because of the medevacts are so strong, it's really insane. But yeah, we do have a pretty good strategy here. Widow mines to, well, kind of hold the front, and then the Marines and Marauders to push in. It's just good. There's nothing else to say about it. We do have these units still here, so I'm wondering whether they're going to come into play at some time. But we'll have to see. It seems that nope, they're not going to come into play at all. They are going to shoot and land like one kill on Zerglings, but it doesn't even matter. The Zerglings then, yeah, they're just going to suicide in just to see what's happening. Just to get some kills, obviously, but yeah, if you can pick off some of the reinforcements, that can actually be very useful, because, well, making sure that this army doesn't get resupplied can be very, very important. Yeah, I think he needs to make a switch. He is going to switch to Mutalisk, but he needs to make a switch to something that's a little bit heavier, that can actually deal with these Marines and these... well, the Widow Mines haven't been too much of a problem this game, but yeah, at least these Marines, because these Marines are kind of getting ridiculous. So yeah, we do have the Widow Mines marching in first. They are going to burrow probably, yep, a few of them at least. And well, he didn't take out that one even, so he suicided 2 Banelings on that, but didn't get the kill. And that means that, yeah, they're just free to shoot at whatever is coming, well, their way. And, oh, does he have enough Mutalisks? I don't think so. This is 12 Mutalisks. It should be enough to kill this, but yeah, this is really not the army that he's concerned with. It's this reinforcement army that is going to suck balls for him. Oh my god. This time they get taken out. So the Widow Mine's not doing very well this time, and the Banelings finally landing a hit. Of course, the Banelings in these high-level games not nearly as efficient as in the low-level games, and that is because, well, people are so good at splitting their Marines, as well as just micro in general, and they will take out all of the Banelings before they can get into position, or if they do get into position, they spread out so that, well, it's not efficient. The Banelings will hit like 2 Marines, or maybe 3 Marines, but you need to hit at least 8 to really be efficient. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you're efficient, because, well, you're Zerg, you have a lot of bases, you have a lot of income, so you don't really need to be that efficient. What you need is to kill units, and that works very well with Banelings. Oh my god, so much going on! But yeah, the Marines very nicely pulled back, and then he marches forward once they get healed up a little bit, and he is actually going to do very well in this fight. He actually takes down quite a few of the Mutalisks, and 2 of them get picked up, and then oh my god, that micro. He micros around the Thor just to get some damage done, but oh yeah, the new army just comes in just as the Thor explodes. The new army comes in, and he has all of this new stuff to play with, and well, the Zerg player was just happy that he finally defeated all of these units. And then a new army of 28 Marines is coming in, and 3 Marauders, but they don't really matter. But the Marines are coming in, and just nothing he could do about that anymore. So very nicely played. Few nice Baneling hits from the Zerg player there, and yeah, just incredible. Anyway, if this was game number, oh no, sorry, if this was game number, this was game number 5. If this was the last game, the next 2 games will be anti-spoiler videos. Otherwise, we're going to do the next game now. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.